What's up, guys? It's B. Christopher. Been a personal trainer and fitness coach for 15 years, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my brand, Weights and Glory. Growing up in sports, working on the sheriff's department as a deputy, and always being involved in the gym, oftentimes I had people walking up to me asking for tips, advice, and helping to get them closer to their goals. It ended up getting to a point to where I looked at this and I said, you know what? I really should just be making a business out of this because I'm spending so much time doing this, and I really found that there's a lot of people that I can help because I kind of seemed like I started to crack the code, especially not just for myself, but for other people. So I started training people, started working with a lot of different guys and girls, not just here in Southern California, but all across the country. And I ended up realizing that there was a big issue. Everybody didn't have the exact same equipment. So I kept having to redesign the wheel, and I had to completely make brand new programs for each person. And that got a little difficult. One day when I was at a Fit Expo, I ended up realizing a lot of the people there were in really good shape, but a lot of them seemed like they were lacking something emotionally. A lot of people ended up lacking something spiritually. After talking with a variety of people, they said it would be awesome if we had something that incorporated that faith and that fitness component. Because even then, spending a lot of time in the church, saw there were a lot of people who had the spiritual aspect dialed in, but others did not have that physical aspect dialed in. When you have both of those connected, it makes a huge difference. Because over training people over 15 years, I ended up noticing that if something happens in their personal life, stress is starting to come on your life, you start having issues, then what happens? You fall off on your diet, you fall off on your fitness routine. So found a way to help make it to where even if you're not motivated, even if you don't have discipline, you have purpose, which will help keep you on track. So that's where Weights and Glory was born. So through that, I ended up developing a system of resistance bands, gliding discs, and a lot of calisthenics that will help keep people in shape, get you burning fat, building muscle, no matter where you are, no matter how much time you have. So here's the first product that I started with. It's pretty much the flagship for Weights and Glory. It's the resistance bands with the door anchor and the gliding discs. The reason why this has become my first product is because as I was training and coaching people from all across the country, I needed to make sure that they had a system that I was able to coach them with, and it was something that was effective for them. At that time, I was also traveling a lot and going to different parts of the countries. They all did not have gyms that fit the needs that I wanted. And especially if you're in a hotel, you're very limited in terms of the equipment that you're given. So I needed to make sure that I had something that would keep me in shape, but also something that I could give to my clients so that they could stay in shape. So over a period of time, I had thought of a variety of different ideas, but the bands are the things that I found actually work the best. And I'm one of those nerds where I started going through a lot of the scientific studies, and I found that resistance bands are just as effective in building muscle as traditional weights. Knowing that and saying, hey, I've got a whole gym in just 4 pounds that I can carry with me as a carry-on, I said, okay, this is definitely something that I want to use. A lot of the people that I was helping out, especially on the department, had a lot of different injuries. That's where these gliding discs are a lifesaver. Literally, they are a lifesaver because when you're working out on the department, you need to make sure that you're in good shape because your life will depend on it. So understanding that risk, we make sure that people are able to heal up as fast as possible. And with these discs, you have the felt side, which you can have slide along any hard surface. And you've got the plastic side, which you can slide across a soft surface like the carpet. So if you're having knee injuries, we can use these for lunges without that impact on your knee and without the issue of having to re-injure it. If you end up having pulls, tears, strains, these also are going to be really helpful. I love snowboarding. I'm an avid snowboarder. I've been doing it for probably 30 some odd years, and I ended up having a really bad injury where I ended up tearing all the ligaments in my left shoulder. These gliding discs and the resistance bands have allowed me to overcome those issues and get it to where now my left shoulder is just as strong as it would have been if I never had an injury to begin with. Part of the reason is because, like the gliding disc, it helps with your balance and your mobility, but also when we're talking about the resistance bands, these resistance bands have variable resistance. So in essence, your resistance bands work with your body instead of against your body. The more you stretch it, the stronger it gets. But the further along in your actual rep, the stronger your muscle gets as well. So as your muscle's getting stronger, the bands are getting stronger just as well. So you can work out every part of your body with these resistance bands. It doesn't matter if it's back, shoulders, legs. If you can have an exercise with it for weights or calisthenics, you can do the exact same thing with resistance bands. One of the additional bonuses of resistance bands is with weights, no matter what, you're talking about vertical loading. That means the weight is always going against gravity. No matter what, you're pretty much always going to be lifting straight up. But with a band, and especially with this door anchor, I can have this attached up high, down low, or I can have this attached level, which means now I can do a lot of the exercises that are more in tune with the actual motion that I'm going to be doing. Let's say that I'm doing martial arts because I have a background in that and I need to make sure that I'm strengthening up my punch. Well, I can't take a regular weight and swing it straight forward because gravity wants to push it down. That's not what my body is going to need in order to punch stronger. But instead, if I have it wrapped around my body, now I've actually got the resistance in the plane of motion that I actually need. So there's a lot of huge advantages to using these resistance bands. The big key is just making sure that you can get either enough resistance or making sure to get enough volume. My extra heavy duty band, this one goes up to 120 pounds worth of resistance. But if you want that big boy here, then you're talking about the double XL, which goes up to 180 pounds of resistance. If I need more than that, then you can just combine them and now you've got 300 pounds of resistance sitting here right here in your hand. That is going to be a huge advantage. Not a lot of people are sitting there bench pressing 300 pounds, but if that is what you want to do, we've got that solution for you. Some of the other products we have coming out, we obviously have shirts and apparel. We'll be coming out with a whole line for men and a whole line for women. But then also we're going to be providing a lot of different products that will actually make your fitness lifestyle a little more comfortable. We're talking mugs, water trackers. We're going to be talking about a variety of different bags where you can carry things and stuff for meal prepping. So a lot of things that actually going to make fitness an easier part in your life. I'll post a link in the description of where you can get the resistance bands, the clothing, and any of the other products that we have coming out. It's going to be at weightsandglory.com. But one of the real big things that makes this brand different is the faith integration. People are often wondering, how does faith integrate with your fitness? How do the two interact together? And how does that make you stronger and make you a better person? Well, working out, we're going to physically make you stronger. But whenever people talk about going through something rough, whenever you're dealing with trials, they say whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's how the faith aspect comes in. But we believe, like Ephesians 2:10 says, that we were God's workmanship, so that he designed us for specific works that are made according to our purpose. We believe every person was built with a purpose. Every person was made with not just a specific purpose, but a variety of them. So we make sure that we're leveling you up in terms of fitness and in terms of faith so that you can live out your purpose. And in doing so, we find that you will end up having a much better and happier life. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you on that next one.